Hands-free is an ultimate transposition effect. That not only there's an absolutely impossible visual that's completely off your hand, the magic also takes place in your spectator's own hand.
Say stop anytime you say stop, okay?
Stop.
Okay, one. Take the card. Show to the camera. King of spades. Okay, it's your card. Okay, can I borrow your hand? The other one as well. Put on top, sandwich it up. Okay, now don't move. Keep it like this for 2 hours.
2 hours.
Now we're gonna take another card. Maybe, I don't know. This card work. This is a 10 of hearts. This is my card. Okay, I'll show you guys how fast magician hands are. Check this out. I'm going to make a mark on my card. Do not blink your eyes. I put this on the floor. Watch. Have a look inside your hand. This X switch with your card. Turn over.
From our friend Mario Tarasini from Lithuania, this is an effect you will love to perform. Check it out.
Hey guys, Jason's here. Thank you so much for supporting us and picking up this project. This effect is so good. It's totally 100% hands-free. You can be able to place a card on any surface you want. You can be put on the table, you can put on the floor, you can even put on a spectator's hand. You can stay far away from the card and the magic happens all by itself. It is crazy, it is so good, it's by far my favorite thing to do. So I hope you enjoy as much as I do. So without further ado, let's get into the explanation. Hey guys, Jason's here. We all know you guys professional magicians. You can guess the secret from the trailers. When we make the trailers, we try to use the least amount of time to show the best part of the effect. With that being said, many times we won't be able to show the entire thing. That's why I'll perform the entire thing directly to the camera so you guys can decide whether or not this one's for you. Alright guys, check it out. So we're gonna start by deck of cards. You're expected, please say stop anytime you like. Right here, perfect. Take the card, show to the camera, tell them what we have. Awesome. Now, let me borrow both of your hands actually. Just keep your hands here. Keep one hand up, one hand down like that. Perfect. Don't move. No, open them up. Perfect. Now just sandwich the card. Do not move. Keep like this. Don't move. Okay. Now we're gonna take another card. I don't know. It doesn't actually matter. So maybe. How about let's just take this one. The 10 of hearts. Great cards. Okay. Now I'm gonna do something with the 10. I'm gonna slowly make a mark of my card. So I'm actually gonna rip the corner off like that. Okay. Now keep in mind. I made a mark on my card. This 10 of hearts has ripped the corner off. Okay, you have your cards. Now a lot of people think when I do this, I do some funny business. How about this? I'm gonna leave the entire cards on the floor. I can't even touch it. Check it out. Do not blink your eyes. Use my energy. Just it looks like it restored, but it's actually not. You actually just switch positions with your cards. Have a look inside your hand. And you can flip this one over too. It's actually the 10 of hearts. I just made a mark. Alright guys, now let's check out the secret of this effect. Alright guys, so this is the gimmick for this effect. It looks like a normal playing card like that, okay? And there's a corner. We thread, elastic thread just here. So once we release it, it jumps back. And here we have a little piece of the double-sided tape. We remove some thickness. So now we can stretch it out and press there. So once it's slowly gonna release its thickness, it will jump back just like that. Okay, so that's the secret of this effect. Alright guys, now let's grab your materials and tools. Let me show you how to construct your own gimmick step by step. Alright guys, now let's grab a few tools. Let's start to make your very first gimmick. So we're gonna start by need a pair of your favorite cards. You can use red or use blue. Then we need a double-sided tape, a needle, elastic thread, pair of scissors, and a super glue. Okay. Now we're gonna start by explain why we need a pair of cards. This corner here is actually from a different card because we need a little bit of the paper to overlap. So the corner and the rest of the card has a little bit area is actually overlap. Just because of that, then we can be able to thread the elastic inside there. Okay, so now let's start make this. we're gonna grab one of the king. Okay, now we're going to rip a corner off first. Now the first corner we're gonna rip will be slightly touching the pip here. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing, actually touch. We're gonna rip the line along here. Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick demonstration. Now it's a very important thing. We're only going to rip this corner down. Okay, and you're gonna see why in a second. So we're gonna roughly to make a shape like that. So I'm gonna rip it down like that and touch this pip here. Okay, now we're gonna finish the tear just like that. Now you can see why we rip it down, because once we rip it down, we don't see the tear mark here, but on the other side we see the tear mark here, which is good because see, we want people to see this tear mark. However, for this part here, we don't want people to see because this is the part we're going to restore back here. Okay, so always remember rip down. So that's the first corner. All right, now let's clean the table slightly. Then we are going to take a little piece of double-sided tape, and we are going to put this just like this right here. Okay, now we can put this piece and align it back to the car, and it's very important we have to align it with all the designs. So now once this corner restored back to the car, it looks like a normal playing cards, and that's very important. Alright guys, so after we secure and be happy with the position, it should look something like this. It's front and this is the back. Make sure it's super tight, and later on we're going to remove this double-sided tape. Right, now if you look at like perpendicular 90 degrees straight down, you'll see everything is not aligned, which is fine, because when we perform it, your audience is gonna only watch this playing card at a 45 degrees like this. So from this angle, this actually, all the details actually make sense. They all aligned up. All right, now grab your needle and elastic thread. Now we're gonna do our favorite thing with elastic. We're gonna go through the needles right here and double thread it. Alright, now we have the double thread ready. Now we're going to punch 2 holes. Right, so we're gonna punch 1 hole over here, punch another hole over here. Now the key here is make sure it's very close to the edge of this corner, but not too close. Okay, if it's too close, it might rip very soon. Right, so we want to keep a good amount, maybe like 3 milliliters away from the edge. So I think right here will be good. So I'm going to puncture the hole. And make sure when we puncture the hole, it goes straight. Okay, do not go vertical any other direction, but go straight down. So now let's see, I'm going to punch a hole right here. Now I'm going to use the table as a support point to puncture the hole. Go straight up like this. Okay, make sure it's a straight hole. Because the elastic gonna take this hole as a way to locate this corner. So if it's not go straight down, the corner will be distorted. It's not gonna be in the right position. Right, now we have 1 hole already. Now we're gonna do the second thing. Go over here. Gonna punch another hole. Right, really careful and go straight down like that. Okay, now as you can see, that's the second hole. Right, so once we're happy with the 2 holes, now what we do is we're going to actually go inside from here first. So from the last hole we punched, just go through here, go straight out. Now we're gonna go inside the first hole we poked. Now just like that, right? Perfect. Now we basically finished the entire punching the whole thing. Now what we'll do is we're going to use super glue to secure the 2 points of the elastic, right? So I'm taking the super glue. Right, so the first piece, we can keep it slightly loose, that's fine. And we'll tie it up with the other end. So this end here, I stretch all the way here. Drop of the super glue, not too much, and make sure it's dry. Let's give it about like 15 seconds to dry. Alright guys, so now once this tiny piece of, tiny little drop of super glue is dry, we're going to trim it off. Like this. So that's what you have on one side. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to just stretch it out. but do not make it too tight though. Just make a good amount of the tension, right? Not too loose, not too tight. So now we'll do the same thing. We'll stretch it just tiny little bit out, and just repeat the same thing. We're gonna tiny little drop of the super glue is enough to secure this little piece of elastic. Right, just like that. Right now, all we need to do is just wait for like 15 seconds. It's gonna dry and it will be very secure. Right, one thing you need to mention is that we always try to align the elastic with another line. So if you watch this, look at this car from far away, these two lines will just merge together, so it's hard for people to see the elastic. Alright, now the elastic is almost dry. We're going to trim off the excess of the elastic. Just like that. Now we basically finished our very first gimmick. Alright, just like that. Now make sure the super glue is 100% totally dry. Alright guys, so once you're happy with the super glue is dry, now the last step is actually remove the double-sided tape. So we're going to do this very carefully. We're going to separate them first. You can see the double-sided tape is still here. And we're going to peel up from one corner. Alright, and we're just going to slowly take this piece off, because we actually punch through this double-sided tape as well, so that's why we're gonna tear the double-sided tape. So we're gonna do this really nice, slowly. See how the elastic actually cut the double-sided tape open. That's what we want, but we don't want to do it too fast, otherwise the elastic will just gonna break. Alright, I'm gonna do the same thing on this side here. Alright, we just removed our double-sided tape. Alright, we'll just put them away. Now you basically finished your very first gimmick. And now the last thing is we do a little bit adjustments, which is we try to make the corner and the rest of the car just curve down, actually just slightly like that. So because once we did that, the lights will not show the shadow too much. Right now we're in a studio setup, so that's why you'll see a little bit of shadow, but in the normal day lighting situation, everything will be totally fine. So do one last check. It is good. Do not stretch very far in the beginning. So this is good. So one last thing we're going to do is take a little tiny piece of double-sided tape right here. Okay, it's about a little square, and I like to place it somewhere busy right here. Okay, just like that. Now once we place this here, it's very sticky, right? So once we tap on the cloth, it's actually going to remove some stickiness. So now we can be able to actually hold it down here and let it wait for a few seconds. It's going to jump back. And congratulations, you just made your very first gimmick. Alright guys, now once you made your gimmick, now let me show you the basic handling. Alright guys, so for this basic handling section, we're going to show you two different ways to perform this effect. The first one will be more professional way. It is more pro way that I recommend you guys to try that out, because if you just want to do the simple rip the corner and restore the back and give back to the audience, that doesn't really make too much sense to me, at least. So if we can do a transposition with a ripped car, it looks really fresh. So let's start from this handling first. So there's one more preparation for this the pro handling. So which means we're going to rip 10 of hearts in advance, which it can be any car, doesn't matter. It has to be a highly contrast with a gimmick car you have. If it's a black core car, then a number 10 with red color will be the best contrast. So once you pick your favorite car to transport with them, you're gonna rip one corner off like that, okay? Now we're going to make a corner holder, because we're gonna add this corner to the car and give to your audience, right? So we need a corner holder, which is extremely easy to make. So this one I just made in like less than 10 seconds. So basically, you take any car you like. I recommend to take a 2-core car. Then basically if you can see, there's 2 pieces of double-sided tape. If you can see from the reflection from the lights, okay? So so the first tape will be just touching the tip of this corner here. Okay, if you can see that. So it's right over here, just a straight one tape here, another piece just tape over here. And then we basically take this and we do a little cut like this, basically the size of your fingertips. Okay, just take the scissors, trim it out, and now align everything up. Basically, we just made a very quick corner holder. So now once we load in the corner here, you will just stay there. Okay, perfect. And later on, whenever you like, you just slide it out. Very safe, very easy to retrieve. So that's the corner one. And now have the gimmick, also have the regular card that match with the gimmick. Now we're ready to do the setup. So now you also need a regular deck of cards. And the first thing is we're gonna put this corner holder on the bottom of the deck. Okay, it's gonna be right here. Alright guys, so now we have this corner holder on the bottom of the deck. You also need a 10 of hearts, which you're gonna match with the card, which is rip the corner. Now, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the 10 of hearts, place on top, followed by this gimmick cards right here. Okay, so gonna make sure this corner right here is facing towards yourself. All right. Now, next thing is we're gonna take any other cards, we're gonna add on top. It doesn't matter which one, just add on top. Now, we're gonna follow by the 10 of hearts, and followed by the gimmick card, which is a duplicate, is a normal card. We're gonna give to your audience in the end. So that is the whole setup. Once you're ready, now we can be able to perform this incredible effects right now. Okay, now let's say you have audience with you. You can show them very fairly. It's a normal deck of cards, which you use your thumb to cover this corner cut out here. So you can show a normal deck of cards. Now I'm gonna use your favorite way to force a card. So in here, we're just gonna do a river force, and basically just cut the you can do a basic river force like that. Just say stop anywhere you like and hand the card to your spectator, and without expose this riff corner card here. Okay, now we're gonna return everything back on top. Now we have this cards, the rip corner cards right on top. Now your audience is hold on to their king of spades in their hands, right? Now where they is holding the hand, holding the card and show to everybody, and do one secret move. It looks like this. We'll basically flip the top card over like that. Okay, so it looks like that. So basically, we're gonna have the palm facing to your audience and do this like that on the offbeat while your audience is looking at the card, try to remember and show to everybody. Okay, now once we turn the card over, we're actually gonna pick a little break like that. Okay. Now what we do is we're gonna take this card and place it back on top of the deck, just like this. We can push everything out like that, so we can hold both cards together like this. It looks it looks just like one single playing cards, right? Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna ask your audience to hold both hands out. So like the live performance, we're gonna ask them to hold one hand like this and hold the other hand right on top like that, right? So make sure they have the hands ready. Now we're gonna do we're gonna finish the double lift like that. Now here's the critical thing. I'm gonna use my forefingers to cover this cut here. So when I take it out, it looks like a normal card, but in actuality, it's already been cut out, right? So at the same time, my thumb is actually gonna slide this corner out from the bottom of the deck, okay? So now it's gonna look like this. It looks like I just take the top card over, but actually I take the corner out as well, okay? So one more time, it's really easy, very fast, so you can do without trying, right? So you basically finish the double lift, and you just take the card out and you place it in your audience hands, right? So basically drop the corner there and the card at the same time, and ask them to put the other hand down like this. So once their hands are done, down on the card, then you can be able to remove your hands. So your audience won't be able to see this missing corner here, okay? So now in your audience mind, they're holding the king of spades, which is their freely selected card. Okay, now we're gonna put this aside. Now, next thing we're gonna do is we are going to pick another card, because we're gonna do a transposition, right? So here, our situation here is we have the king of spades on top. That is a great thing. Now we also have any X card on top. Now we have the gimmick cards here, and also the 10 of hearts. So what we do here is we're gonna do a very bold move, but it looks supernatural. You're basically gonna say, you know what, how about let's take another card, I don't know, maybe this one. So what happened here is I'm switching this two pairs cards from here to here. Okay, so I found the two cards like this. I just switched the order like that. So what happened here is we have the 10 of hearts and your gimmick cards together. We're gonna bring them both to the top of the deck like that. You say, you know what? Doesn't matter which one. Let's just take this one. All right. So it looks like you don't really care which card. So in your audience mind, it looks like you can pick any card you like. Right? So from here, we actually can tilt the hands up just slightly because you don't want the audience to see this cutout here, right? The shadow of the corner. So now you tilt up slightly. Now you turn both cards over together like that. So you show your audience, oh, how about let's take this card as well, the 10 of hearts. Okay, now this is going to be my card. Let me try something you have never seen before. So now we basically finish a double lift like that. And at the same time, we're gonna take this card out. So once we finish it, really quickly I use my thumb to cover this cutout of this corner right here. So it's gonna look like that. Now I'm gonna push the entire deck into gambling palm. So I have three of my fingers. So now I'm gonna take this card. So what happened here is I'm going to rip the corner up. Okay, it looks like I'm trying really hard, but I try not to bend the corner and the card as less as possible, because if it bends, it's gonna create a shadow later, which doesn't look good. So make sure you always curve down. So now you just pretend to rip the corner. You say, I'm gonna rip the corner off just like that. Right? Here's the reason why we rip the corner this way, but not this way, because when we rip down like that, your audience is going to see the two pieces of elastic. If you rip up, the elastic will be actually blend into the background, which is the back design of the red card. Okay, so from here, you're gonna do the pretend to rip the card like that, right? So now once you finish, you rip the card, you can have the card here, and you can move the corner around like this. Okay, now it's very important you don't do something like that, because the best way to guarantee the final position after restoration is actually push it straight down. Okay, this is the best position. Not like this, not like that. Okay, always push it down like that. So now you can just move the corner, but do not flash it out the side, because in your audience mind, you just rip the corner off from the 10 of hearts. Okay, now what we do is we're gonna just move a corner around and say, you can tell your audience, now I make a mark on my card. My card is missing a corner. Okay, now check this out. You're not gonna believe this. And basically what happened here is you can see this little square of the double side tape. I'm not let the entire card to cover the entire double side tape. I only find this little corner here, little corner. I'm just let this side, this little piece of this bottom little piece, about ½ centimeters of the corner, just touching on the corner of this double side tape. Okay, what happened here is it won't be too sticky. At the same time, the corner actually gonna shift slightly right before the corner jumps back, which gives you the notification, you know, oh, it's about to jump back. Now you can do some magic gestures, so it looks like you can be able to control the magic to happen. All right, so once you get a hold of how much tension, how much pressure you should press down, and you should be able to get a rough idea of when it's gonna happen. Like right now, I have seen slowly to move a little bit, and you can snap your fingers, or you can keep your hands there. Give it about 3 seconds to 6 seconds, and build the tension, and your audience gonna see the jump, which looks incredible. So you can do this on the table, on the floor, totally up to you guys, and you can see the corner jumps back. And one thing keep in mind is the angle of this effect, which you're gonna make sure your audience watching this effect about 45 degrees, and let this missing corner pointing towards your spectator. Okay, so from that they'll see this magic happen. Now we're gonna pick this card up again. Now here's a very interesting point, because it's hard to pick the cards up, but remember we have double side tape here. We basically use my finger to press down on the double side tape. It gives me the thickness just enough for me to pick it up. It looks like I just grab it up by actually using the double side tape to help me to grab this on my fingertips. So I'm gonna grab it up like this. Always make sure you have this corner pointing towards your audience. Now you take this up, you say, wait a second, it's not restored, it's actually exchanged with your card. I'm having the 10 king of spades in my hand. Open your hands, have a look, okay? And your audience can open up their hands and they'll see the card. The card is supposed to be in their hands is missing corner, and they switch to the 10 of hearts. While your audience is being surprised and doing all the reaction there, all you need to do is swipe this gimmick card and just basically add this card on top of the deck and switch to the second card and give to your audience. And it looks like a bold move, but at that moment, because the match is so strong and everything's done, there's no one have any eye contact or attention on you. So you say, open your hand and have a look inside. So you have all the time in the world to just do this and just relax and wait for the moment your audience want to check this card, then you give to them. And that's the getting and how to perform it, and as well as the get out for this effect. Alright guys, so here is second handling for you guys. So if you think the first professional routine is too much work, it's too complicated, you want to keep everything simple, beautiful, direct, here's the perfect routine for you. So basically all you need is a gimmick, the king of spades right here, also another king of spades that you can hand out. So first of all, we're going to do the same setup. We're going to have this gimmick on top of the deck, having this corner pointing towards yourself. So once you take the card back from your audience, you can tell them, a lot of people think I'm a magician, I have magic skills, I'm good at sleight of hand, but that's not. I'm actually having a supernatural power. Let me show you what it is. So basically you do double flip of the both card and take top card out. So you're gonna use your thumb to cover or use the four fingers. I usually use the my thumb to cover like this. Let me show you my superpower. So I'm gonna do the same thing and push the card down. So three of my fingers. Now do the same thing. I just do the rip. So the cool thing about this version is that actually you can show your spectator the bottom of the card while you don't even need to worry about flash the card. So you just basically finish the rip the corner. You can show them the corner as well, right? You can show everything. Just rip the corner. Say, I just rip the corner off. I'm actually gonna place it on the back over here. So here's the corner and the king of spades right here. It's a real tear, just like that. Now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna push it, just let a little bit of the corner touching a little bit of the double side tape, and you can press down the right amount of pressure and you place on the table and you wait for the moment it jumps back, just like that. Now same thing, we're gonna use one finger, touch on the double side tape. Looks like we just pick it up. Now we just turn it over while my four fingers cover this cutout right here. Okay, just like that. You can show them the card. You just relax and thank you very much. And the switch is very simple. Basically, when you edit it back, you basically edit like this and leave a little bit space on top. And if your audience want to check it, you say, of course you can check it. So basically, we slide the top card out, right? So when we edit back, I say, thank you very much. Would you like to see it? So it looks like a second deal. So we'll just pull the top card and give to your audience, and you can relax. And that's how to get in, how to perform, and how to get out for this basic handling. Alright guys, now we have a few tips we want to share with you. Check them out. Alright guys, so now the first tip we want to share with you guys is audience management. Specifically is the moment we hand them the missing corner cards with the corner. A lot of people, when you first think about this, you're gonna think it's very scary, right? To try out first. But now, if you have those tips in mind, you should be able to do it for fun. So now let's borrow my assistant's hand. So let's say the audience hands right here. So now let's have the both hands opened up like this. Okay. So first move is having the hands open up like this. Okay. Make sure they keep them really flat. Okay. Here's the reason why. Because when we do this move and take the corner out, we don't want them to curve their hands. Otherwise, they're gonna start to feel the corner is missing. Okay. So if the hands is completely flat, it's hard for them to realize the corner is missing. Also, make sure it's far away from the fingertips, because fingertips are very sensitive. You know, they can feel the corner, but inside the palm, not too much. So for that reason, we're gonna try to not put over here, because now the fingertips can feel this is missing. The right position to put it is actually somewhere over here. Okay, you can see about like 1/3 of card is sticking out. That is totally fine. So now we're gonna put this hand over here. Now the other hand is not on top yet. That's why I'm using my 4 fingers to cover it. Now I'm gonna take this hand to basically cover their vision. So when your audience look down, they won't be able to see the missing corner where I take my hands off, right? So now basically when we put this down, the moment they're gonna touch, I take my hands out and ask them to keep this nice and flat like this. Keep about like, you can say a joke, just keep it like this for 3 hours and do not move. I promise you're gonna like it. So in case there's more people around this participant, you can ask them to do the same thing, to do like this. So now your audience won't accidentally open that hand to see what is happening. If there's more than 2 people, that's even better. So ask everyone to do this, ask everyone to participate in this special moment. So now everyone can feel the card is there. There's no way you can do anything with it. So that's how to keep the cards in your spectator's hand. While you're performing, you always keep your audience busy. Always say something, do something, keep them interested. So they won't ever have a moment they feel so bored they want to check the card. So I've been performing for many times. No one ever accidentally opened up a hand. So make sure you guys do all the movements smoothly. Practice enough time with your friends and family. Then continue with the effects, and hope you guys will find this tip useful. Alright guys, now second tip is about the lighting and also the angle for this effect. Okay, first of all, the lighting. You guys probably gonna worry about the elastic thread, because right before the corner jumps back, the 2 pieces of elastic actually exposed right on the back design of the playing card. So a few things you guys should keep in mind. First of all, do not let a very strong light shining on top of this gimmick. Okay, we're in a studio setting right now. That's why the lighting is super strong. It's actually burning my hand if I look at the keep looking at the light source. So in a normal performance situation, the lighting should be totally fine. If it's a meter away from the gimmick, there's no one should be able to see this 2 pieces of elastic. Also, if you can find the right angle, the right place with a little bit shade, so they'll be totally fine. If you perform this on the floor, you can use your body to cast the shadow, so no one will be able to see this 2 pieces of elastic. And also, from normal audience experience, they have never seen elastic on playing cards before, so they won't even actually look for it. So even though they see it, they're probably gonna see this glare from the playing cards. So lighting wise, that should be okay. Now the angle for this effect, because this gimmick is so geniusly simple and easy and effective, the angle for this effect is really important too. So first of all, the best angle for this effect to perform from your audience point of view is 45 degrees. So now let's say this camera is audience eye level, so they're gonna look down 40 degrees like that. So they won't able to see the edge of the corner. Okay, so if you flip on the performance point of view, you're gonna see so clearly the edge of the corner, right? So always make sure your audience can look down 45 degrees at the same time. Have this corner always pointing at your audience. Okay, you guys can experience this at home. Take a cell phone, film it, pretend it's audience eye level, just filming straight down, and make sure you can find the right angle. So also test out how far it'll work the best for you. So if you keep the cards far away from the audience, it will always look even better and looks super fair, especially when you leave the card on the floor, which I highly recommend you guys to do it, because there's not a lot of magic can actually be performed hands-free and on the floor, and the design is super simple, right? And the genius at the same time. So always keep those things in mind. You guys should be fine. Alright guys, so the last tip for you guys is the timing for this effect, which I believe will be you guys will spend most of the time just play around with this, and I highly recommend you guys to do it too. So first thing is you're gonna get used to the amount of force from this elastic, okay? and also the double-sided tape here. Once you replace the new one, always tap on the clothes or tap on the table, just remove some stickiness, because once it's super fresh, it's gonna be always going to be too sticky. I recommend you guys to use the Scotch tape, the double-sided tape, which is the best. Some other brand might be too sticky, but from our experience, try the Scotch tape, is the best. And now let's do everything in one more time so you guys can get the idea. So never pull on this side, because if you pull like this, you cannot control how much force you're gonna press down. So from my experience, always keep your fingers contact on the corner and let this piece, this part to be free. So now you can move as more or move less, totally up to you guys. So I usually just simply a little corner of this double-sided tape, just a tiny little corner, then press down, and you're gonna start to feel if there's not enough force or not enough area of the double-sided tape. So or you can move to stick half of the double-sided tape, and you can press down, and now you can, it feels right. You can see slowly to move tiny little space. Your audience won't realize that, but you are the person really close to the gimmick. You're gonna know the moment it's gonna to jump. So it gives your audience the impression that you can be able to control the timing. And if ever when you're performing you stick it for too long, it's still fine. You just grab all your audience attention and you just slowly wait for the moment to happen, right? So if it's really stick too strong where you're performing, you can say, just to confirm, this piece is from here, right? So now the second time when you move this piece back, you actually just stick just a little bit. So now it can be slowly to jump back. You can see slowly move, snap a finger, and it jumps back just like that. So that's everything about timing. So it's all about the thickness of the double-sided tape and how strong the elastic and how much force you press down on this corner double-sided tape and how much double-sided tape you're actually using. So once you guys play around with it, you'll get a really good idea of how much force you should press down. Alright guys, so if you keep everything in mind, you should be able to control the timing of this magic really easily, like this. It jumps back like that. It feels like I'm using the magic to make this corner jump back. And so that's everything. Hope you guys will try them out, and hope you guys will find these tips really useful. Alright guys, so there's one last tip for you guys. So if you guys want to perform the simple tear and restore card effect, but you want to do it with a signed card, you still can do it. So there's one more thing you need, which is a double backer, okay? Now, the setup is very easy. You have the gimmick set up like this. You have this corner pointing at yourself. Now have it face up. Now followed by the double backer, right? Now you can ask your audience to pick any card they like. Let's say they pick this one here, okay? Now very quickly, your audience is gonna sign their card. Now we have the card back from your audience. Now the situation is we have 3 cards above the break. Now turn 3 cards as 1. Now use your thumb to take the top card out and cover the corner part, right? So from here, just continue with same thing. Pretend to rip the corner off and slowly put on the table and wait for the moment it jumps back. Now all you need to do, remember, keep a break of the top 2 cards and slowly take the cards back on top of the deck, and you turn 3 cards as 1. Alright, now you can give the top card to your audience for examination. So that is how to perform the simple tear and restore card with a signed card. There you have it. Alright guys, so that's it. That's everything you guys should know about this incredible effect. You can simply use this as a standalone effect, a simple restoration card effect, which is already incredible. Or you can do the same thing like what we did in the performance. You can do the transposition effect, exchange a rip card with the selection. Looks incredible as well. And also remember, stay tuned with us. We've got a lot more magic coming out from Sense Magic. My name is Jason. I'll see you guys next time.